I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Trump is likely to rank among the worst presidents that our country has ever had.
I would put him at the bottom.
Trump will be ranked very low.
In the bottom 5.
Donald Trump's legacy will be entwined with the mismanagement of the pandemic. He also will be remembered as somebody who normalized extremism, normalized racism. Donald Trump also delivered for his allies in big pharma, in agribusiness. So there are sectors of the economy that may see him as a very successful president.
The sheer death toll of this pandemic is an unbelievable indictment of his failures of leadership.
What we don't know is what the events of January 6th, the siege and takeover of the Capitol by his people and incited by him, we don't know what long-term impact that will have.
It feels pretty impossible at this point to put anything on par with that rally prior to the insurrection at the Capitol. That will be the defining moment in Trump's presidency.
Wave after wave of atrocity has lapped on these shores. But I think if you were to point to one thing, it would be the pandemic.
I would actually mention something that happened before he came to power in January 2016 when he was on the campaign trail. And he declared that he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose any followers. And the last emblematic moment will be forever the events of January 6th and his speech.
When he called in troops to overtake peaceful protesters in Lafayette Park, now superseding that image will be the image of January 6, 2021, and the hostile takeover and siege against the United States of America and the U.S. Congress.
His biggest achievement would have to be his transformation of the Republican Party. Whether you think that's good or bad or not is a different matter, but does a transformation of the Republican Party transform American politics? Yes, it does.
Creating a loyalty cult and a personality cult, and keeping the loyalty of many, many Republican politicians.
I think he will be given credit by conservatives for lowering their taxes, of keeping the economy going full bore until COVID hit.
He has, in fact, carved back a whole host of regulations that Obama and his predecessors had put in place. He has, in fact, dramatically reduced the tax burden that high earners and corporations face. And he has, in fact, appointed lots of conservative justices to the judiciary.
He was never a president and never sought to be a president for the whole American people. He was content to be a president for his base.
Our belief that we should believe the things that presidents say, and we should look to them for guidance in trying to understand national interests.
We don't know whether we will have people like Donald Trump with no military experience, no political experience, no governmental experience before coming into the presidency.
And his idea of governance was very different. He didn't care about public welfare. He mainly cared about making money for Trump Organization. So he was spending 1 out of every 3 days visiting or golfing at a Trump-branded property. So if this is your main activity, then you're not going to be as effective as past presidents who spent most of their time governing the country.
The presidency is the single most powerful teaching platform in the country. And we are all the president's students. And the president has given us a 4-year course in bullying and abusive behavior. I think he's done terrible things to our culture.
Donald Trump's had an extremely polarizing impact on the American media and on American society. And one of the things that leaders like him do is create this alternate point of view, this fictional reality. Leaders like Donald Trump require us to be at each other's throats. They require society to be divided and fearful, because over and over again since the fascist years, this is the kind of emotional and psychological atmosphere in which they thrive. If I were to sum up Donald Trump's presidency in 3 words: destructive, polarizing and tragic.
Destructive and anti-democratic.
Weaponize politics without shame or limit.
I would say demagogue, and if I could add two more, I would say big lie.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quicktake now for insight in an instant.